All right, we're ready for a nice mat class using our magic circle, or the fitness ring is the modern day version of what we call this, but Joseph Pilates called it his magic circle. And originally these circles were made from, or I've heard that they were made from the steel from a whiskey barrel. So kind of an interesting little fact. We're going to begin with some breathing here. We exhale and we inhale and we exhale and we inhale. And I'd like you to do that for me a few more times. And if you do not have a fitness ring, I'm going to just show you that I'm doing the same type of movement, maybe a little bit more of a lateral raise. Exhaling, closing the rib cage, inhaling, expanding the rib cage, trying to keep the upper traps a little bit relaxed, as well as the jaw. Breathing in, breathing out. So expanding and contracting the arms or the ring, and also the ribs knit together and the ribs expand out. I'd like you to hold this next one in, and let's do a small pulse like the 100 breath. Breathing in and out and in and out. So we're going to keep that going, and if it's available to you, go ahead and extend those arms a little forward on those exhales, and then pull them back in on the inhales. So the hands reach forward a little low so you're not getting up there in the upper back, and we're going to do it just a couple more times. It's a good way to really get the sense of nice firm pulses. Now if you're doing this without the ring, it still works. You just need to control it more because you don't have the same resistance. Okay, let's make this next one your last one. Breathing in and out. I think I did that backwards. And now we're going to take that ring right in front of ourselves, just like so. Open the feet around the ring. The knees are bent, the feet are a little bit flexed up, and the hands are both on the pad of the ring. We'll exhale, press down, and as you do that, let your eye focus go down to that bottom space or the bottom pad. Inhale, let yourself look directly forward. Exhale and inhale. Now I'm going to show this from the side without the ring so it's clear what I'm asking you to do. We're exhaling, finding that spine stretch, scooping the belly, feeling really nice lengthening stretch in the entire back, between the shoulder blades all the way down the low back, and then we stack ourselves back up. We exhale, round and reach. We inhale, lengthen and extend. Twice more, please. Exhale, round and reach. Inhale, lengthen and extend. Here's the last one. Exhale, round and reach. Inhale, lengthen and extend. We're going to take that ring over 1 foot. Now you'll come to this tabletop position with the shin. Have no ring. You just place your hands right behind your thigh. You're going to be doing the same movement with or without the ring. So that bottom foot can be flat on the floor or just the heel. We're going to push out with the leg and roll back, and then bring the leg back to that tabletop position. So our goal here is to simply allow this lever to give us a little more room to scoop into that C curve. We're going to go twice more. So the leg extends just as far as you need it to sort of give you that counterbalance. And now we're just going to take this next one all the way back, and the arms and the legs come to a high position, reaching towards the ceiling. You might find that if you haven't got a ring, your knee is a little more bent, and that's totally fine. You can be just right there, okay? What we're gonna do though is just enjoy the stretch, maybe lengthen the lower leg if that feels good to you. And then we'll take the ring off and we'll have it so it's directly above the hips and the chest. So the palms are holding the ring. We're not really squeezing it. We're gonna point the toe and make some single leg circles. Now single leg circles with the bottom leg extended are a little more challenging, so you can always soften up that knee. Okay, this would be the same type of a thing if you did not have a ring. We're gonna pause and reverse. Inhale down, exhale up and around. You're making this circle as large as possible without feeling your body following that extended leg. All right, we're gonna hold that leg right there. Bring the hands behind the head, fold the knee, lift the other leg. Rotate towards the inside leg, and then we switch. So we're doing crisscross, and we're letting the ring support the base of the skull. My ring is not on my neck, it's on the base of the skull. We've got 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Ring goes over the feet. We're gonna push out and find a little V balance, so kind of like a teaser. Drop the shoulders and let the ring help you up. Good, your belly is scooped, and then your belly is long. So we're flexing the spine, and we're extending the spine just as much as you can. 2 more times. Exhale, pull the belly flesh in. Inhale, lengthen, extend. 1 more time. Exhale. We're gonna stay up on this one. Take that first foot out, and we're right back where we began with the ring over the second foot. We're going to exhale back. Inhale up. All right, so you can scoop and hold like we did on the first side. Scoop and hold. Or you can practice letting it take you all the way to the mat and then coming back up. If you choose to do that, I want you to really be mindful of that little bit of a chin tuck that allows you to still breathe, but you're not looking at the ceiling and feel a lot of strain on the front of the throat. So we're right here, we push out, we lengthen up, we reach, scoop the belly, roll down, and then bring it back up. Here's the last one. We're gonna go ahead and stay all the way down on this one. Lengthen that bottom leg, and we'll single leg circle on the second side. Breathing in and breathing out. My elbows are on the mat, so are my upper arms, but I'm not scrunched up through the shoulders. Let's pause and reverse. So your goal is to let the collarbones be wide, the shoulders to be relaxed onto the mat, and the breath to be constant. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more times. 1 more time. Right from there, we're gonna just bend the knee, stick that leg in the ring, and reach the other leg into the ring. And the pads are on the outside of the lower thigh, just above the knee joint. We're gonna use our hands behind our thighs. Now, if you have no ring, you're just holding your legs together, just like that. We're gonna reach the feet towards the floor. As soon as the abs start firing up, we're gonna exhale, pull back up. We can point our toes down and flex our feet up. You can do this without the hands supporting the thighs, but only if you're able to maintain an alignment that doesn't feel like there's strain or pulling at the back of the waist. Okay, we've got 3 more of these, and 2 more, and 1 more. Let's go ahead and let the feet come all the way down, holding the legs as wide as they need to be to have the ring, the magic circle around your legs. However, we don't want our feet to be farther out than that, so try to have a sense that your feet and your knees are in alignment, arms open, and we press up into a bridge and back down. Exhale. Now what the ring does here is it provides us with some really good feedback about whether or not we were actually kind of opening those legs as we lift and lower, and that's a really common tendency. Spread all 10 toes, press through the first metatarsal where the big toe is, and we're gonna go 2 more here. We exhale, abs pull in as you lift the pelvis up. Hold here, and now we're just gonna shift the weight from the heels back down. Just flex those toes. You'll feel the small muscles that run along the front of the shin area, or the calf, opposite of the calf muscles. And if you're an anatomy person, we often refer to that as your anterior compartment. There's a bunch of muscles in there, anterior tibialis, peroneus longus. And when you're doing this, you're feeling those muscles that really are inflamed when you have a bit of shin splint. So just some things to throw your way. We're gonna stay right here, and we're gonna drop and lift. Little, small, not all the way down. Maybe your tush grazes the mat, but it's a little bit more active and you're starting to get a bit of a warm sensation in the glutes and the thighs. 2 more times. One more time. Hold right here, legs down, spine down. Woo-ho-ho. Walk those heels towards your glutes. Use your belly muscles. Exhale, bring it all in. We're going to slide that ring down to the outside of the ankles above the ankle bone. And from here, we're going to stretch the legs up. Okay? Open the arms out to the side. Legs bend to a tabletop position. Exhale, as you stretch up, push the pads wide. So you're getting a little extra activity at the sides of the hips. We inhale down. We exhale up. Now, when you do this, you can stay right where we are. We can turn it into your can-can. So we're going to rock to one side on the bend. Exhale, stretch. Rock to the other side. Exhale, stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 4 and 3, 2. We're going to use this move to go right into something called corkscrews. You're going to make a circle around and up. Pause for a moment. Inhale down, exhale up and around. Pause for a moment. Guide your legs if you need to. Okay? And keep the hands down, the knees a little bit bent. So we're going, making a full circle in one direction. One hip, tailbone, other hip, up to the sacrum, we pause. Inhale as we travel down. Exhale as we come up and around. Inhale as we travel down. Thank you for sharing your chew. Thank you for sharing it. I don't want it, but thank you. All right, so from here, we're going to bring the hands behind the head, and we're gonna lower those legs down, flex the feet, exhale, pull up. We breathe in, lower those legs long, exhale, breathe up. We're gonna go with 5 more of these. And 4, thank you for sharing. Yes, 2, and 1 more time. All right, from here, we'll pull the ring into the insides of the thighs, lower the legs down, and make sure it's not directly on the knee joint. Now we're just gonna rest on the mat, exhale and squeeze the ring. Inhale and release. If you are pregnant or have had any kind of joint replacement in the hips or the knees, please don't do this particular exercise. You can certainly do the same thing at a much smaller level with less intensity, but internal rotation and inner thigh contraction are not the greatest for hip replacements and pregnancy. So keeping that in mind, we're gonna go 2 more times and 1 more time. Now we're gonna hold the arms up and we're just gonna pulse that ring for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We open it up. We let the legs open as well, and we walk one foot and then the other foot up to grab the ring. Now we're holding the ring on the insides of the legs. Okay? So right from here, we're going to bring the hands behind the thighs, rock ourselves up, and extend those legs. So we did this earlier, now this is a little more demanding, and roll back. So we're rolling like a ball, and then we're working into that teaser position, and we rock, and stretch, and we rock, and stretch. And we can add those arms, reaching out over the legs, or reaching up, which is not as easy. Last 2. Last one. And right from there, oh, thank you. We're gonna come to a side position. So what I'd like you to do in this side position is take your feet inside of the ring. Good. I know, I'm on the floor and you think it's time for you, but it's not. So you've got your outsides of your ankles above that lateral malleolus bone, and we're just gonna go ahead and exhale, spread the ring wide. You are adorable. Stop it. Give me that dog. Good, so we're pressing that out, that top leg up and anchoring with the bottom leg. Now you can have your hand under your head here, you can be all the way down, or if it feels better, you can be up on your forearm. Any one of those positions works, okay? Exhale up and inhale down. This is what you chew, not me. You chew this. Now, you should be starting to feel the side of the hip again, like we did earlier. This hand stays in front of you to keep you honest about being pretty square, because a lot of the time we kind of start to roll back and put a little strain on the spine and maybe those muscles on that side of the spine. We're gonna hold it here and go pulse up, 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 and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that leg out and put it on top of the ring. Good. And from there, we're gonna exhale, press down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, press it down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, and inhale. 3 more times, please. Exhaling, and inhaling, and exhaling. And just like we did previously, you're gonna hold it down and use your inner thigh now to pulse to the mat. For 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, last 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Right from here, we're going to go ahead and take that ring and just let it slide forward. We'll come all the way up, start with a mermaid stretch, okay? Now, in the event you don't have a ring, those exercises still work, and I will demonstrate them on the second side a little bit more clearly. This hand's gonna reach out towards the forward edge of the mat, and this foot is gonna come up. We're gonna do what's called a side bend, and you're on your knee, your bottom knee, and then you just release the hip down. If you wanna make it more dynamic, you can come off of that bottom knee. You may need to take your arm a little farther out, and the full side bend looks like this. We come up and over, so you're really kind of like a boomerang, and then down, okay? So we're gonna do that about 3 more times. We exhale, whatever version of this works for you. So I'm gonna reverse the order, just a little lift, and just on the knee. So any of those works. We're gonna go right back over to our mermaid stretch, maybe take a little extra stretch, reaching across the body. Good, and then we're gonna swing around to the second side. Now, I'll get you started if you've got your ring. We're gonna anchor that bottom foot inside of the pad, okay? And that top foot inside of the pad as well. And you're in the position that works best for you in terms of your head. So let me just move this. If you don't have a ring, you're simply going to press this leg up and bring it down. And you want to keep the side of the foot up towards the ceiling and reaching that leg long so you're not just dipping into the waistline here, kind of hiking the hip. You want to keep it long and down. So we lift and lower. Your feet are either in the ring or you're working with me. We're gonna go 2 more times. And 1 more time. Now hold it right here. We're gonna pulse it up, up. If you've got the ring, you're pressing up against that inside pad. If you don't have the ring, you'll still feel that it's pretty effective. Here's 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Take a moment to relax, okay? If you're using your ring, take that top foot out and put it on the top of the ring, on the top of the pad, and you're gonna press down and lift up. Now imagine that you've got a ball, maybe you do have a ball, you could use that in place of the ring, and you're gonna press down, pull the abdominal muscles in, and come up. So we're not quite pushing all the way to the bottom foot, we're getting close, okay? We've got 3 more, and 2 more, and 1 more time. Good, and maybe we do a little pulse there. That's it. Here's 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, fold those legs in. Gently press up to a plain old mermaid stretch. Good, and then from there, hand comes forward, top foot is out. We go into our side bend, either on the knees, either just off the knees, or full side bend, and you could even go up and over looking at that bottom hand. All right, we've got 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more time. We come all the way back to that mermaid stretch. Maybe we reach a little bit over. Now, we're gonna spend a little more time in side lying work today, and we'll move the ring to the side so that we can do the first side. Feet go to the front corner of the mat, and the body is kind of along the back edge of the mat, okay? So you can be in this position, or even on your forearms. But what I'll ask you to do is take that bottom leg and do your best to turn the top of the foot down to the mat, and then place the top heel right on the bottom heel. So you're in that turned out Pilates B or first position, okay? We're gonna draw the big toe up the inside of the knee, and then when you get to that place, you're gonna lift your knee towards your shoulder, extend it up, flex the foot, and reach it out. We bring it up. So this is called développé, and it's borrowed from ballet terminology, which is French, and développé is develop. So your leg sort of develops into this growing, extending thing. Now, this whole sequence is borrowed from dance, and Joseph Pilates was pretty popular with dancers. So we're gonna stay right here, and we're gonna go down and up. These are grand pas mas. Your foot can be flexed or relaxed. That's it. Good. And 4 more, and 3 more, and 2 more. Last one. From here, we're just gonna go ahead and fold those legs in. We'll take the feet and lift them up, opening and closing that top leg into what we call a clam. This can be done a couple of ways, but this way keeps you really honest about whether or not you're rocking back into your spine. And you might find at this point your neck's getting tired, so you can go ahead and drop your head down. We'll go with about 4 more here, and 3, and 2, 1 more. We're gonna hold this next one up and do tiny little pulses back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the legs, stretch the top leg forward. It can be straight or it can be bent, but it is over the bottom thigh. And then you're gonna take that bottom arm and reach it out towards me. Top hand right on the rib cage. Open the chest and shoulders to the ceiling. You should get a really nice stretch at the side of the hip here. From here, we'll come back towards the front edge of the mat, come all the way up. Take a moment to bring your legs together, and the leg that was the working leg is in front, and just let your hands rest forward. You get a nice little stretch in your hips, and you don't have to go far forward. If it feels good, you can go really far forward, but it really depends on how that feels on your body. So some hips are tighter than others. Take what you need, leave what you don't. All right, so we'll bring those legs around. We're back down in this position. Legs forward, edge of the mat, heels together in that V. Try not to let the waist or the hips slide into the waistline. So elongate that leg, heel to heel. So you want to be stacked. And then from here comes your développé. And you're breathing in and out, in and out, or vice versa. You can breathe out and in, but you're looking for a rhythm that works with your breath. That's it. 4 more times. And 3. And 2. Last one, here comes your grand battement, down and up. So battement just means movement of the leg and grand means big. So big movement of the leg. And you want to make it as big as you can without feeling like you're flinging it all over the place. So in control. Last 2 times. Last one. We're going to fold those legs together, lift the feet up, and clam. Good. And 4 more times. Here's 4. And 3. And 2. And 1 more time. And now we just come all the way up, finding that stretch with the feet crossed, leg that was just working in the front. Easy for me, lean in, glide the shoulders away from the ears. This may be more about your back. Either way, it feels great, so hopefully you're enjoying that. I'm gonna go ahead and come up, and we'll bring our ring to the forward edge of the mat, okay? We're gonna lie all the way down on our bellies, and we'll hold the ring right at the end of the mat, elbows down on the floor. So I want your head to be part of your spine, so it's not hanging lower than wherever your upper body is. And then you're gonna make yourself as close to the end of the mat as possible, and the shoulders are as comfortable as possible. So you don't want your arms to be out here and your shoulders to be in your ears. Let your elbows be down. All right, so I'm holding on to the outside edges of the ring. In the event you are ringless, your arms can be here. And we're just going to lift up a little bit and lower a little bit. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. That's this weird thing for sniffing my mascara. I don't know what to tell you. Apparently I'm really interesting today. Exhale. Looking just over the ring, inhaling. Exhaling. You are tickling my ear. All right, we're gonna hold this one down. Shoulders again away from the ears. We're gonna lift one leg and then lift the other legs. Okay, I might not have mentioned it, but if I didn't, I'm going to now. Laughing is even better abdominal exercise than Pilates, but don't tell anyone I said so. Stop. Poppy pug, that's enough. Enough. So you'll notice that I'm keeping the front of the hip down, and I'm reaching my leg out, and I'm just holding everything here. So my ribs are a little lifted off of the mat, or at least my chest is, but my lower ribs are on the mat. So it's important when you exhale and lift the leg, kind of draw the belly flesh in so that your spine doesn't press forward and into the mat with your ribs. Okay? You can keep it like this. It's a nice, slow, controlled pace, or you can alternately pass the legs. Okay? Now, if that feels like, okay, that's enough work for me, then you stick with that. Otherwise, you can flutter kick. And if you're doing this without the ring, your arms can just be extended out. They can also be extended out if you're doing it with the ring, and this just feels better to you. You can soften up those elbows. So this is your swimming exercise. Good. And then we'll just place the hands under the forehead and relax the head and shoulders down. All right. We're going to bring the arms alongside the mat. Draw the shoulders down. Good. And feel the belly muscles pull in and up. That's it. If you're feeling really strong, you can hover. Short lever arms here. All that means is that we are not opening them out to the side. We're going to go twice more with a long lever or a short lever. And from here, we're going to take a moment to press ourselves back into a rest position. Bring your ring along and just find a nice little stretch. From here, we're going to pick that ring up and in a kneeling position, making sure your knees are under your hips. So you don't want to be wide like that. Put some strain on the inner aspect of the knee joint. You want your knees directly under the hip joint, okay? So here we are. We're gonna reach the arms forward, hinge back. This is thigh stretch. And then we're gonna pull the ring apart as we come back in. Reach it out, little squeeze, little pull. Use the breath. Inhale one way, exhale the other way. Notice that my body is staying fairly straight as I go back, so I'm not arching, okay? We're gonna go 2 more. And 1 more time. And right from here, we're just gonna take a moment to curl the toes. All right, this is where life gets interesting. We're gonna bring the ring around the thighs again, like we did earlier, so it's above the knee joint. And then we're going to place the elbows or the hands, I prefer hands because there's more room, on the mat. And we're gonna lift up into a pike. Legs wide enough to hold that ring steady. And then we're just gonna flatten out into a plank, okay? So we hike it up and we take it down. I'm looking towards my toes or the back end of the mat. I'm looking towards the front end of the mat, but I'm not looking at the wall. See the difference in my neck? 2 more. And 1 more time. Now, if you can, go down, stay down. And right from here, you're gonna just drop one side of the ring to the mat and the other side. So you're kind of turning your feet, dropping one side of the ring where the pad is, and you might find you need to come up a little bit or even lower down to the elbows. That's it. Good. And 2 more here. 1 more here. When you're equal on those 2 sides, we're just gonna put the knees down and we'll take a moment to step out of the ring and onto our bum to finish with a little stretch. So this stretch is hamstrings, of course, but then we could lengthen that bottom leg out and take the top leg over the midline of the body, and you should feel it anywhere along the side of the hip, all the way down to the side of the tibia. If it's too intense, bend the knee a little bit. That decreases the intensity. We're gonna come on in and switch sides. Okay, so we'll start with the hamstrings, shoulders away from the ears, jaw relaxed. Take that leg over. Remember, both sides are different, so if you need to slightly bend the knee, go ahead and slightly bend the knee. And then come back to center. We'll get rid of the ring and we'll just sit comfortably for a moment. If this is comfortable, stay there. If you can go to a bit of a butterfly stretch, go ahead and do that. Hold on to your ankles and ever so gently press your elbows into your inner thighs and look just beyond your toes. Shoulders slide down, back is relatively flat. You may feel your back stretch or your inner thighs or possibly both. Good, and then we're just gonna go ahead and open those legs up nice and wide, give them a little shake, walk forward again. If that's enough, stay right there. Be mindful that your legs don't roll in or turn too far back. Your toes are upright towards the ceiling. Knees can be a little bit bent if that's necessary. And then we're gonna go ahead and come up and breathe in, let the legs come together. Breathe out, bend the knees, open the chest and shoulders to where wall and ceiling meet. Keeping your shoulders away from the ears, jaws relaxed. Good. And right from that position, we're just gonna sit comfortably, shrug those shoulders up, breathing in, breathing out, and just one last breath in. As you exhale, just say So a little more work for the sides of the hips, some different variations using the ring if you have one. And again, if you don't, the workout does stand alone, and a lot more Poppy and Milo than I expected. But hopefully you got a good laugh on us. We'll see you again next time. Thank you.